Welcome to NFL Talk. Aaron Rodgers moved to the Jets. This season hasn't exactly been a fairy tale, has it? It seems like everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
Yeah, it's been a rough ride for sure. Rodgers is out with a torn Achilles. The team is struggling with a 3-7 record, and they've already had to make a mid-season coaching change from Robert Saleh to Jeff Ulbrich.
It really makes you wonder what the future holds for Rodgers and the Jets, especially with all this talk going around about a possible reunion with his former coach, Mike McCarthy. Do you think there's any real weight to those rumors?
There's definitely a lot of buzz around the league. It's no secret that the Jets will be looking for a new head coach in the offseason unless Ulbrich can pull off a miracle turnaround. And McCarthy's position with the Dallas Cowboys isn't exactly a sure thing either.
That's right. His 5-year contract with the Cowboys is up at the end of the season, and with a 3-6 record and Dak Prescott out. Well, it wouldn't be surprising if Jerry Jones decided to make a change.
It really does remind you of what happened with Jason Garrett if he's back. If the Cowboys miss the playoffs, McCarthy could very well be on the lookout for a new job. And that's where this whole reunion idea with Rodgers starts to get really interesting.
So why all the speculation? Why would Rodgers even think about going back to McCarthy after all this time?
Well, you got to look at it from Rodgers' point of view. He's had a really tough time with the Jets so far, lots of setbacks and disappointment. Going back to McCarthy could give him some stability and familiarity, especially after the chaos of the last couple years.
It does seem like Rodgers really values those close relationships and that trust in his work. I mean, we saw that when he brought Davante Adams with him to the Jets.
Exactly. And don't forget the success they had together in Green Bay. 13 seasons from 2006 to 2018, Rodgers became an MVP and a Super Bowl champion. That kind of history together can be a powerful thing even after all these years.
You can't deny the success they had in Green Bay. Under McCarthy, the Packers had a 125-77-2 record, won Super Bowl XLV, and made it to the playoffs 9 times. That's a level of consistency in winning that's hard to find.
And it's not just about wins and losses. You have to think about how McCarthy helped develop Rodgers' talent and helped him become one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They understand each other's strengths and weaknesses after all those years working together. That could be a big advantage if they teamed up again.
But we can't just ignore McCarthy's time with the Cowboys. It's been kind of a mixed bag, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. He's managed to get them to 3 12-win seasons in a row, but they haven't had much playoff success, and that's definitely hanging over him.
So it really begs the question, would a reunion with Rodgers actually be good for both of them?
I mean, on the one hand, they have a proven track record of success together. And for the Jets, who have been searching for a franchise quarterback forever, it could be their chance to finally become a real contender. But there are risks, too. Rodgers is coming off a major injury, and he's not exactly a young guy anymore. There's no guarantee he can get back to his MVP level. And like we were just talking about, McCarthy's record in Dallas recently hasn't been anything to write home about.
Right, and there's also the whole personality clash thing to consider. Both Rodgers and McCarthy are pretty well known for being strong-willed. Could getting back together actually bring back some old tensions and create a tough environment?
Yeah, that's definitely something to think about. Team chemistry is so important. And if the coach and quarterback aren't on the same page, it can really affect the whole organization.
But what if this reunion actually helps them both be their best? Maybe they've both learned from their experiences and this is like a fresh start for them.
That's an interesting thought. Maybe a new environment and working with someone he trusts could reignite that competitive fire in Rodgers. And for McCarthy, getting out of the pressure cooker in Dallas could help him get back to what made him successful.
That's a cool idea. But even if they do find that old chemistry again, there's still other things to think about. The Jets have a young and talented roster, but they still need some pieces. Would they be willing to make the moves they need to make to build a team that can actually compete for a championship?
That's a big question. And what about Rodgers? Would he be happy being part of a rebuilding project at this point in his career? Or does he want a team that's ready to win now? Those are some important questions for both sides.
And we can't forget about the money either. Rodgers and McCarthy both have big contracts. Would the Jets be willing and able to pay what it takes to get both of them? It would mean some serious work with the salary cap.
Oh, absolutely. Bringing in Rodgers and McCarthy would probably mean restructuring contracts, making some tough decisions about other players, and maybe even using up future cap space. It would be a huge gamble for the Jets.
The gamble that could pay off big time or blow up in their face.
Yeah.
It's a really high-stakes situation with the potential for huge success or huge failure.
And that's what makes this whole thing so interesting. The chance for an amazing comeback, the risks involved, the money problems, and the personalities involved. It's like a real-life drama playing out right in front of us.
It reminds you that the NFL isn't just about the game. It's about the stories and the people, too. This whole reunion thing has everything you could want in a story. Drama, intrigue, and the possibility of a triumphant return.
And for Jets fans who have had to put up with years of disappointment and frustration, it could give them a reason to believe again, a chance to get excited about their team.
For now, it's all just speculation. We'll have to wait and see what happens over the next few months. But one thing's for sure, the NFL offseason just got a lot more interesting.
Definitely. This is going to keep us guessing and wondering what's going to happen with Rodgers-McCarthy.
We'll be keeping a close eye on this story and let you know if anything changes. In the meantime, what do you think about this reunion? Do you think it would be good for the Jets and Rodgers? Tell us in the comments.
It's a decision that will affect everyone involved in a big way. It's going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the Jets are really ready to take that kind of risk. Rodgers and McCarthy are both big names with big personalities. Bringing them together would definitely create a media circus and put a lot of pressure on the team.
It's a big gamble, no doubt about it. But sometimes you got to take big risks to get big rewards. And for a team like the Jets, who haven't won a Super Bowl since 1969, it might be a risk worth taking.
The Jets are in a pretty unique spot right now. They have a talented young quarterback in Zach Wilson just waiting for his chance. They could choose to stick with him and build the team around him, make him their franchise guy, or they could go all in on this Rodgers-McCarthy thing and hope their experience and leadership can bring them success right away.
It's a tough call. No easy answers. Do they go for the long-term future of the franchise, or do they shoot for glory right now?
Yeah, the idea of winning a Super Bowl is pretty tempting. And the chance to bring in a proven winner like Rodgers with a coach he already knows and trusts well, that might be too good for the Jets to pass up.
It's a story that's going to keep unfolding over the next few months. We'll be watching to see how the Jets handle this decision. It could change everything.
This whole reunion thing has all the makings of a classic NFL story. High stakes, big personalities, and the chance for a comeback story for the ages. No matter what happens, it's going to be a story that keeps fans talking and makes headlines for...
Well, that about wraps it up for us. Thanks for joining us for this look at the potential reunion of Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy with the New York Jets. It's sure to be a fascinating story to follow.
Absolutely. It has all the ingredients for a wild ride. I'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds.
Goodbye, and see you in the next video.